This is it. This is the day, and this is the part where I'm supposed to let you know who they're taking. I don't know who they're taking. And the reason I don't know who they're taking is because they don't know who they're taking. And the reason they don't know who they're taking is they don't even know what round they're going to be picking in. Good morning to you. Good Thursday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Steelers. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into hockey and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Penguins and Pirates in the same place that you found this. The draft itself, meaning the whole Roger Goodell, Titans are on the clock, getting the bro hugs ready. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern. The Steelers are probably going to pick at some point after 10:30 p.m. based on how these things have gone in the past, or they might not pick at all tonight. I've never covered one of these pre-draft press conferences like the one earlier this week where Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin essentially hung a for sale sign out on their number 21 overall pick. Now, that doesn't mean they want to go out of the round. It could just mean they're okay with moving back a few spots and still getting the player that they want. It also could mean that they don't really value the remainder, aside from the top handful of the first round, as being first round worthy in a typical year. And that would not be an uncommon sentiment. There are lots and lots of people who study this thing year round who feel the same way. So if it isn't a first round product, why pay a first round price? A first round pick obviously is a first round price. What's the line of demarcation between the good first-round players and the rest of them? I don't know, but the Panthers hung a for-sale sign on their number 8 overall pick a couple of weeks ago, and when they did theirs down in Charlotte, they were hanging all these used car lights, glowing neon, fireworks going off. They really want somebody to come up and get that thing. So no, I don't know, because they don't know if someone will bite. But here's what I do have for you. It's a feeling and a viewpoint that's kind of meshed with several weeks now of accumulating a sense for what this team wants in this setting. When I say this setting, I'm only talking about day one. I'm just talking about the first round. I'm just talking about tonight. It's not going to be a quarterback. No matter what else you hear today, no matter where else you hear it, unless the Titans and everybody else pass up on Cam Ward, it's not going to be a quarterback. It's not going to be a running back. They're going to take a running back, as I've reported, but Ashton Genty's going to be off the board just like that. Omarion Hampton's not going to be around much longer, and there really isn't anyone else that you'd put in a first-round class, not even this first round. So where I come back to is the same place that I've been really all along, and that's the interior defensive line. And I don't care to make it more narrowed down than that. It could be the next Cam Hayward. It could be the next, whatever it counts for the modern version of the nose tackle, or Casey Hampton, but someone to plug the middle, to solidify the run defense, and ideally to offer a lot more than that. Or someone to play off the nose and maybe be that Stephon Tuitt type. Whatever the case, whatever the model, those players are there. They, the interior defensive linemen, are what this draft is known for. Yes, there are a lot of edge rushers, but the bulk of the analysis around the first 30, 40 guys focuses on the big boys. And you know what? When in Rome, okay, go get them. Go get your interior defensive linemen. If none of them make it to you, if none of the ones that you like, then go ahead and continue entertaining moving back. But if you're still at 21 and you still see Kenneth Grant from Michigan coming your way, and he's a tough dude to miss coming your way. This is a monster of a human being. Don't abandon him. Don't let him go somewhere else. I'm purposely not going to throw out the comparables that get attached to him because comparables get misunderstood by pretty much everybody. They hear, well, he's like Calais Campbell or he's whatever. And I'm not saying that and nobody else says that, so don't take that. But immediately all kinds of heads shake. If you can get yourself an impact guy at the point of impact on your defense, and he can come in and complement Cam, and he can complement Keanu Benton, and he is at number 21, the best player available. Do not trade down because of some preconceived notion that it's not a great class. Go right ahead and take him. Nothing will harm the Steelers by selecting someone who will solidify the trenches. And that applies to both sides of the ball. Yes, of course, I respect the massive investment in terms of draft capital, in terms of salary cap space that's gone into the O-line. It was needed. It's arguably still needed. But you've now gone 5 consecutive drafts with your top pick going on offense. 8 of your top 10 picks in that same span have gone to the offense. It's time. It's time. I don't like to inflate that Baltimore game. In fact, I think it's been overblown. But if it serves the purpose of having that memory be fresh when it's time to pick, and they get Grant or one of these other defensive linemen, then it will have been worth it. When we come back, J1Q.
This segment of Daily Shot is brought to you by our good friends at Mike's Beer Bar. They're located on Federal Street, directly across from PNC Park. Mike has more than 500 beers on tap, including from more than 50 local breweries. Stop in and say hello. Tell Mike we sent you. Mike's Beer Bar.
Today's J1Q comes from Frank, who says, DK, I've been saying this all year. Trade your first round pick back for either a second round this year or a couple of thirds this year and next. Then draft a power back to complement Jaylen Warren, draft a quarterback in the third round, and fill all the rest with defensive players, maybe an offensive line player for depth, and prepare for next year to draft a franchise quarterback. How does that sound? You know how that sounds, Frank? That sounds like we really need to get this draft underway because you just sent me in about 7 different directions, and I'm going to be honest with you, to some extent, all 7 of those made some sense to me. But as of tonight, at least some of the countless hypotheticals surrounding all of these scenarios become real. And if, in fact, the Steelers do, as I just expressed in this opening segment, find themselves a foundational defensive lineman to help rebuild or reload, whichever term you happen to prefer, given that Cam's coming off an all-pro season, it isn't exactly fading. And they do it there, on the line, in that room. This is the point that I can't make strongly enough. They'll be addressing the position, in essence, that began all of this when Chuck Noll drafted Mean Joe Green. Whether he valued defense more than he did Green's individual capabilities or vice versa isn't the point. The point is that's where it started. And the point is that's been really, maybe more than anything, the continuity from 1969 onward. It's not going to burn you. That doesn't mean that there can't be a bust in this group. But, first round, number 21 overall, deep, rich class of defensive linemen. Be smart. Be smart. Stop worrying about positions as the top priority. Your chance of getting a best player available type at 21 is really good if you go with one of these defensive linemen. And for me, not going to lie, if it's Kenneth Grant, yeah, that's feeling optimal. It is. It's feeling optimal. Let's see how it plays out. Ooh, wow. This is going to be fun. And we'll be talking about it tomorrow here on the program. Also, this afternoon at 4 p.m., we're doing a special edition double shot of Steelers. And yeah, here we go. As they say, here we go.